What is it when a painting starts to feel? Your eyes watch as colors shift, emotions flow, anger and love burst through its canvas. Every stroke whispers secrets you can't ignore. It's as if the portrait knows your heart. It's crying and smiling, breathing, telling your story you never thought anyone could see. Feel the joy, the betrayal, and forgiveness as the paint comes to life. It's watching every moment you shake. This painting is not just art, it's alive, and it will change the way you see everything around you. In the quiet corners of an old, dimly lit gallery, an unusual energy hums softly, unnoticed by anyone except those who truly believe in the pulse of art. The gallery walls, lined with centuries-old masterpieces, carry the whispers of forgotten artists, each canvas telling a story of love, betrayal, sorrow, and joy. But tonight, in the Gallery of Hearts of the Twins, a new phenomenon stirred, something that no critic, no visitor, and no historian could have anticipated. On the farthest wall, a portrait had been hung, a recent acquisition brought from a mysterious estate auction. Its frame was ornate, golden with intricate carvings, but the true marvel was not in the craftsmanship. It was in the eyes of the figures depicted. Two twin sisters stared outward from the canvas, one with black-hued face that radiated kindness, warmth, and a gentle serenity, the other with a pure white face, sharp, audacious, full of attitude and defiance. From the very first glance, the painting felt alive. When visitors walked past, the twins' expression seemed to shift imperceptibly. A subtle tear formed in the eye of the kind sister, and a fleeting smirk flashed across the bratty one's pale face. The painting didn't just exist, it reacted. It absorbed the atmosphere of the gallery, the emotions of those who lingered too long, the whispers of admiration or criticism. Among the gallery visitors tonight was Emily, a young art enthusiast who had always believed that true art could communicate directly with the heart. As she approached the painting, she felt an unusual pull, a magnetic connection that made her step closer. The warm glow of the black-faced sister's eyes seemed to pierce through her chest, filling her with an inexplicable calm, as if the sister's kindness were embracing her very soul. At the same time, the stark, white-faced sister's glare made her pulse quicken, a combination of fear and curiosity stirring deep within her. Emily reached out, almost instinctively, her fingers hovering over the polished glass that protected the canvas. And then it happened. The painting shivered. The brushstrokes trembled like they were breathing. A single tear slid down the kind sister's cheek, and in response, the white-faced sister's smirk deepened, almost taunting. Emily gasped, her heart pounding. No one else in the gallery seemed to notice. The lights flickered slightly, the air thickened, but to the casual observer, everything appeared perfectly normal. The twins in the portrait were not merely painted. They were alive in spirit, vessels of emotion bound in oil and canvas. The kind sister's gaze reflected empathy, sorrow, and unwavering love. She seemed to silently whisper, "Feel what I feel. Understand me. Don't fear my tears. They are my truth." Conversely, the bratty sister's glare radiated frustration, rebellion, and the rawness of human ego. Her expression seemed to mock, almost daring anyone to challenge her presence, to resist her boldness. Emily felt a flood of memories crash into her mind. Childhood moments, laughter and arguments, the duality of human emotion, the gentle love we carry and the defiance we hide. It was as if the painting had reached into her consciousness and drawn forth emotions she hadn't fully acknowledged. She could feel herself trembling, captivated by a force far greater than any art she had ever encountered. Hours passed, though Emily could not tell by the clock. The gallery seemed to fade around her. Shadows stretched longer, the other visitors left, and only she remained, immersed in the silent dialogue with the twins. The kind sister's eyes glistened as if to say, "Love freely, forgive easily, embrace kindness even when the world is harsh." The white-faced sister's glare, sharp as a blade, whispered back, "Stand strong, assert yourself, challenge the world if it dares." Emily realized the painting mirrored not just the sister's emotions, but the very essence of human duality. Every heart carried within it both kindness and defiance, empathy and rebellion, love and frustration. The twins were a reflection of what lay within every soul, two sides of the same coin, forever intertwined. And then something extraordinary happened. As Emily's emotions surged, The painting began to respond more vividly. The colors shifted dynamically, the black-faced sister glowing with warm golden light, her tears shimmering like liquid sunlight, the white-faced sister radiating icy blues and stark whites, every line and contour of her face magnified with intensity. The air around the painting seemed to pulse with life. The gallery itself became a theater for human emotion, and Emily, unwillingly, became the center of this vivid performance. Time ceased to matter. She felt tears streaming down her face, not from sadness, but from awe. The painting had awakened something inside her, a realization that art was not meant merely to be observed, but to be felt, experienced, and lived. She understood that the kind sister and the bratty sister were not enemies, but two essential forces of existence, reminding all who gaze upon them that love and defiance coexist, shaping the very essence of our lives. The moment lingered, a delicate balance between serenity and tension, love and anger. Emily knew this experience would forever alter her perception of reality. She whispered softly, "Thank you for showing me who I am and who I could be." And then, as if sensing her gratitude, the painting shimmered briefly, the sister's eyes locked with hers in a silent pact. We will watch, we will feel, and we will guide those who dare to look deeper. From that night onward, the painting became a legend in the gallery. Visitors felt inexplicably drawn to it, each one experiencing their own intimate confrontation with the duality of the twins. But none were as profoundly touched as Emily, who had felt the awakening of a portrait that did not merely depict emotion. It lived it, breathed it, and shared it with anyone brave enough to truly see. The black-faced sister and the white-faced sister, two sides of the same soul, had found their voice in oil and canvas, and in doing so had awakened a powerful truth. Every heart holds light and shadow, kindness and defiance, and the courage to embrace both is what makes us alive. The morning sunlight filtered through the tall, arched windows of the gallery, casting delicate patterns across the polished wooden floors. But inside, the atmosphere felt different, charged, alive, almost electric. The painting of the twin sisters from yesterday seemed to hold a memory of Emily's presence, and tonight it would reveal even deeper layers. Word of the painting had begun to circulate. Critics whispered about its living quality. Enthusiasts speculated about hidden messages, and a few who were brave enough approached it with trembling hearts. But only those sensitive to emotion, the ones who truly felt the pulse of life, could understand the full story of the twins. Emily returned, drawn by a force she couldn't explain. She stood in front of the painting, her reflection merging with the faces of the sisters. The black-faced sister's warm, gentle eyes seemed to nod at her, acknowledging the courage it took to return. The white-faced sister's sharp glare challenged her, daring her to face the truths she had avoided within herself. The painting began to shimmer, subtly. For the first time, Emily noticed the hidden brushstrokes, delicate patterns that seemed to form words, phrases, even faint symbols woven into the canvas. Each symbol pulsed with emotion, almost as if the painting were breathing, alive in its own rhythm. Emily leaned closer, her fingers tracing the glass, and felt a faint warmth emanate from the surface. Suddenly, a low hum filled the gallery. It was soft, almost imperceptible at first, but it grew, resonating to the wooden floorboards and deep into Emily's chest. The painting's background began to shift, showing faint images of memories, not hers, but the twins' lives. A flash of sunlit childhood garden appeared, followed by laughter, arguments, tears, and moments of tender love. The black-faced sister held the hands of village children, guiding them gently, teaching, comforting. The white-faced sister, bold and unruly, challenged conventions, raised her voice, yet occasionally revealed a rare, fleeting softness. Emily realized the painting was revealing their secret history, a story too complex for words. Every brushstroke was a memory, every color a sentiment, every tear a narrative of love, defiance, and resilience. She felt herself pulled deeper, unable to look away, as the canvas unveiled moments of fear, courage, and the raw human emotions that had shaped these twins' existence. The black-faced sister seemed to communicate directly with Emily, urging her to embrace kindness even when the world seemed cruel, to forgive even those who wronged her, and to trust in empathy as her guiding light. Meanwhile, the white-faced sister radiated intensity, teaching Emily that anger, rebellion, and unapologetic self-expression were also vital, not to be feared, but understood and respected. Emily realized that the painting was not merely art. It was a mirror of the human soul, reflecting both light and shadow. And as the twins' emotions played out across the canvas, she began to see parallels in her own life. The kindness she gave, the defiance she had suppressed, the love she longed to embrace, and the anger she had buried deep within. Time blurred. Hours passed as Emily explored each detail. She could see the tiniest imperfections in the brushstrokes, yet they made the painting all the more alive. She noticed how the twins' eyes followed her every movement, and how even the smallest changes in her emotional state caused subtle shifts in the painting's expression. The gallery seemed to fade away. Emily felt transported into the twins' world, a realm where every emotion, every memory, and every experience was etched in color and light. The black-faced sister's kindness enveloped her like a warm blanket, while the white-faced sister's fiery attitude sparked courage and determination. Emily understood the balance of life, the necessity of compassion, and the power of boldness. As evening descended, a crowd began to gather outside, drawn by whispers of the painting's mystical qualities. But Emily remained captivated, knowing she had discovered something profound. The painting was a living testament to the complexities of human emotion, a fusion of love and defiance, light and shadow, kindness and rebellion. It was not only a masterpiece, it was a guide, a teacher, and a reflection of the very essence of humanity. In the final moments before she left, the painting shimmered once more. The black-faced sister's eyes sparkled with approval, while the white-faced sister's smirk softened, almost imperceptibly. Emily felt a wave of understanding wash over her. The twin story was not finished. It was ongoing, alive in the hearts of anyone willing to feel deeply, to embrace both sides of their own soul. She whispered, almost reverently, "You've shown me the depth of being alive, the courage to love, the strength to defy, and the wisdom to balance both." And as she walked away, she realized that the painting's power was not in the art itself, but in its ability to awaken emotion, inspire introspection, and connect with the core of anyone who truly gazed into the eyes of the twins. The legend of the painting spread, not because of its technique, but because of its soul-touching presence, a mirror reflecting the duality within us all, the tender kindness and the unapologetic defiance, forever intertwined. And those who truly saw it could not leave unchanged. Emily knew she would return, for the painting of the twins had become a companion, a mentor, and a reminder of the infinite complexity of the human heart. Each visit would reveal new depths, new insights, and new layers of emotion, for the painting was alive, ever responsive, and eternally powerful. The gallery, once silent and ordinary, now breathed a vibrant pulse of energy. And in its heart, the twins watched, guided, and whispered truths of life to anyone willing to see beyond the surface. Night had settled over the city, but the hearts of the twins' gallery seemed to pulse with its own life. The golden lights reflected softly on the polished floors, casting long shadows that moved as though alive. Inside, the painting of the twin sisters dominated the farthest wall, larger and more commanding than ever before. It was no longer a mere work of art. It had become an emotional mirror, reflecting the deepest truths of anyone who dared to look. Emily returned, her footsteps echoing softly. The gallery was empty except for the painting and the subtle hum that now seemed to emanate from it. She approached slowly, drawn once more into its magnetic presence. The black-faced sister's eyes shimmered with warmth and patience, while the white-faced sister's glare was sharper, yet more intricate than before, layered with untold stories. Emily felt her own heartbeat synchronize with the pulsing life of the canvas. The painting began to shift, not in color alone, but in movement, subtle yet unmistakable. The twins' expressions changed with each blink, each tilt of Emily's head, reflecting a nuanced dance of emotion. The black-faced sister's gentle smile broadened as if sensing Emily's empathy, while the white-faced sister's lips curled in a daring challenge, demanding recognition of her power, independence, and unfiltered spirit. Emily realized that the painting was not just reacting, it was communicating, translating the raw, unspoken emotions of the twins into a language that bypassed words entirely. It whispered in brushstrokes and flickers of color, teaching a lesson that the human heart understood innately, that kindness without strength could be ignored, and strength without compassion could be lonely. As she stood transfixed, memories of her own life emerged unbidden. Moments of kindness, acts of rebellion, fleeting moments of joy, and hidden frustrations all reflected in the painting as though it had absorbed her very soul. The black-faced sister's soft gaze enveloped her like a warm embrace, while the white-faced sister's intensity ignited a spark within her, urging courage and fearless self-expression. Emily noticed tiny details she had never seen before. The subtle wrinkles in the sister's hands, the tiny droplets of paint that shimmered like dew, the lifelike texture of their hair that seemed to move with the faintest gust of air. Each detail was meticulously designed to evoke empathy and awe, creating a mirror that reflected not only the twins, but every visitor who truly saw them. Suddenly, the gallery lights flickered, and the painting seemed to breathe. The twins' figures leaned forward ever so slightly, their eyes locking onto Emily's. She felt a rush of emotions, love, fear, courage, and defiance, all intertwining in a single heartbeat. The black-faced sister's tear glistened with an inner light, reflecting the deepest compassion, while the white-faced sister's smirk radiated defiance and strength. Emily's breath caught in her throat. It became clear to her. The painting was a mirror of human duality, a visual representation of the delicate balance between kindness and rebellion, love and defiance, submission and assertion. Every person who gazed upon it would confront their own inner twin. The part of them that wanted to give, and the part that wanted to assert, the part that forgave, and the part that resisted. Emily reached out instinctively, fingertips grazing the glass. The moment her hand neared the surface, the painting shimmered like liquid light. The twins' expressions softened yet intensified simultaneously, a paradoxical harmony that spoke to profound complexity of human emotion. Emily felt tears in her own eyes, not from sadness, but from an overwhelming recognition of her own inner contradictions. The painting began to reveal more. The background shifted, displaying faint images of intertwined lives. Friends, strangers, moment of unexpected kindness, and sudden bursts of anger. Every element symbolized a delicate interplay of emotion that defines humanity. The twins were more than painted figures. They were guides, showing the path to balance, resilience, and self-understanding. Emily realized that the gallery, once silent and still, had transformed into a theater of living emotion. Each visitor, each moment, and each heartbeat could now influence the twins' expressions. The black-faced sister's warmth offered solace, a reminder that compassion could heal wounds invisible to the eye. The white-faced sister's boldness demanded acknowledgement, teaching that courage and assertiveness were equally vital. Hours passed unnoticed. Emily felt herself merging with the twins' world, her consciousness expanding to understand the depth of the painting's message. Life was not about choosing kindness over defiance or defiance over kindness. It was about embracing both, understanding the duality, and finding harmony. The gallery doors opened and closed silently as other visitors entered, yet Emily felt untouched by distraction, anchored entirely by the painting's hypnotic pull. Each person approached differently. Some hesitated, others rushed forward, yet all were subtly influenced by the twins' dynamic emotions. The painting, alive in its essence, had become a catalyst for introspection, challenging every observer to face their hidden selves. As night deepened, the painting shimmered brighter, the sisters' faces radiating a luminous energy that seemed almost tangible. The black-faced sister's eyes glistened with reassurance. The white-faced sister's smirk softened with understanding. Emily realized that this was the climax of the painting's power, a full revelation of duality, empathy, strength, and self-awareness. She whispered, "You've taught me to see beyond appearances, to embrace all parts of myself, to love fiercely and stand boldly." The painting responded with a subtle shift, a tear and a smirk simultaneously, a perfect balance of duality. From that night onward, the gallery became a sanctuary for those seeking more than art. Visitors left changed, moved, and inspired, carrying with them the message that true understanding comes from embracing both the tender and defiant sides within oneself. Emily knew she had been transformed, the painting acting as both mentor and mirror, revealing the unseen forces that guide human emotion. The twins remain on the canvas, alive in their duality, guardians of the gallery, teachers of the human heart, silently whispering truths about kindness, rebellion, love, and strength to anyone willing to look beyond the surface. And for Emily, This chapter of discovery was only the beginning. The gallery was silent, bathed in the soft glow of overhead lights that highlighted every detail of the artwork lining its walls. But in the corner, the painting of the twin sisters seemed to radiate its own energy, drawing the eyes and hearts of anyone who entered. Emily approached, feeling the familiar pull that had guided her through the previous chapters of discovery. Tonight, the painting promised not just reflection but revelation. The very heart of the twins, the core of their emotions, and the deepest truth behind their existence. The black-faced sister's eyes glowed with a warmth that seemed almost tangible. Her gentle smile beckoned Emily closer, whispering a silent message of love, compassion, and empathy. In contrast, the white-faced sister's glare was fierce, commanding, and unapologetically bold. Her smirk challenged Emily, daring her confront the truths she had hidden from herself, the aspects of courage, defiance, and unapologetic self-expression she had yet to fully embrace. Emily reached out instinctively, her hand hovering above the canvas. The painting responded, subtly shifting its brushstrokes, colors rippling across the twins' faces, as if breathing life into the oil. The black-faced sister's eyes shimmered with unshed tears of understanding and unconditional love. The white-faced sister's expression hardened, yet beneath it lay the faintest trace of vulnerability, a hidden plea for recognition and acceptance. As Emily's emotions intertwined with the painting's energy, the gallery seemed to dissolve. She could feel herself stepping into the world of the twins, a realm where every emotion was magnified, every thought made visible, and every heartbeat resonated with life. She saw flashes of the twins' memories, moments of joy, arguments, laughter, betrayal, and forgiveness, all intricately woven into the canvas. Every brushstroke carried the weight of lived experience, each color a reflection of emotion and intent. The painting revealed something new, the interconnectedness of duality. The twins were not just sisters. They were two halves of the human experience itself. Kindness and defiance, love and rebellion, empathy and strength. They existed not in isolation, but in delicate balance. Emily understood that the painting's power lay not in its ability to reflect the twins' emotions, but in its capacity to reveal the universal truths within every observer. The gallery lights flickered, casting shifting shadows across the floor. The black-faced sister leaned forward, her gaze warm and inviting, whispering silently, "Embrace kindness, even when it seems unseen. Love without hesitation. Forgive without regret." The white-faced sister's smirk deepened, her voice unspoken yet unmistakable. Stand boldly, assert your truth, confront challenges without fear. Emily realized that these dual messages were not contradictory. They were complementary, guiding principles for navigating life's complexities. As the night wore on, Emily's connection with the painting deepened. She could feel the twins' presence surrounding her, their energy a symphony of emotion and insight. The black-faced sister's warmth soothed her anxieties, filling her with a sense of purpose and empathy. The white-faced sister's fiery spirit ignited her courage, urging her to act boldly and unapologetically. Together, they created a harmony, a profound understanding that both qualities were essential to living fully. Emily began to see the broader impact of the painting. Other visitors, drawn by whispers of its mystical qualities, experienced their own transformations. The painting responded to their presence, subtly shifting expressions, colors, and brushstrokes to reflect each individual's inner world. The twins' eyes followed, not with judgment but with understanding, guiding each viewer to confront their own dualities, their hidden strengths and vulnerabilities. The gallery became a sanctuary, a place where the human heart could be examined, celebrated, and understood. The painting's power was not just in its lifelike realism, but in its ability to awaken the soul, to provoke introspection, and to inspire change. Visitors left with a renewed sense of self-awareness, empathy, and courage, carrying the twins' lessons into the world beyond the gallery walls. Emily lingered, feeling a profound gratitude toward the twins. She understood that their story, their existence, was not just art. It was a living testament to the beauty and complexity of the human experience. The black-faced sister embodied compassion, patience, and unconditional love. The white-faced sister embodied strength, independence, and fearless authenticity. Together, they represented the full spectrum of what it meant to be human. As dawn approached, the painting shimmered one last time for the night. The black-faced sister's eyes glistened, offering reassurance and serenity, while the white-faced sister's smirk softened, acknowledging the courage of all who had dared to look deeply. Emily whispered, "You have shown me the heart of life itself, the balance of love and defiance, kindness and strength. I will carry your lessons forever." And with that, she stepped back, knowing that the twins' presence would forever remain in her heart. The gallery, once a quiet sanctuary, now pulsed with life, energized by the painting's living essence. The twins watched, guided, and inspired, silently shaping the hearts of everyone who entered, leaving an indelible mark on all who dared to see beyond the surface. The story of the painting became a legend, not because of its beauty alone, but because of its power to reveal the duality within every soul, to provoke thought, evoke empathy, and inspire courage. It was more than art. It was a living mirror, a teacher, and a guardian of human emotion. And Emily knew that this chapter, though complete in experience, was only the beginning. The twins' journey, and the journey of every soul touched by their presence, would continue, eternally guiding, eternally awakening, eternally alive. In life, every heart holds duality, the gentle kindness that heals and the bold defiance that empowers. The twins in the painting reflect the truth we often overlook. Love without courage is fragile, and strength without empathy is incomplete. The black-faced sister teaches us to embrace compassion, to forgive freely, and to radiate warmth even in the coldest moments. The white-faced sister reminds us to assert ourselves, face challenges boldly, and never fear our true nature. Together, they reveal that life's greatest power lies in balance, embracing both tenderness and strength, empathy and rebellion. Every tear, every smirk, every subtle shift in emotion is a reflection of our own inner world. By observing the twins, we learn to confront hidden fears, nurture our kindness, and awaken courage to act unapologetically. This moral transcends the gallery. It's a universal lesson. To live fully, we must honor both sides of ourselves, the compassionate and the fearless, the soft and the bold. Only then can we navigate relationships, challenges, and personal growth with authenticity, wisdom, and a heart that truly understands the depth of human emotion. Powerful takeaway. True human fulfillment is achieved when we harmonize love and courage, kindness and defiance, light and shadow within ourselves. The twin story reminds us that embracing duality is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength.